I'm Monica Liddle.
And I'm Tom Liddle. We're from Duluth, Minnesota. Our home church is Peace United Church of Christ, and we've been serving for the last year, a little over a year, in East Timor.
We have two children, Hannah, who is 6, and Simon, who is 10 months old. Simon was born in East Timor. East Timor is a developing country. It's one of the poorest countries in the world, and as such, there are major problems with tuberculosis, with malaria, with maternal mortality, infant mortality. HIV/AIDS is also on the rise in East Timor. I'm a naturopathic physician, and I was assigned by Global Ministries to work as a physician in a clinic in Los Palos. I work with 7 Timorese staff. We consult all in foreign languages, so Tom and I have traded English for Tetum, which is one of the national languages of East Timor. I have staff help me every day to translate because a lot of the people don't even speak Tetum, so I need some help. However, we have well over 60 to 80 patients a day, especially in the busy season. We might have over 100 patients coming in each day. We are following the government programs. The government has a healthcare system in East Timor, but it's quite fractured, and the standards are not as good as they could be. So as an NGO, the clinic that I work for as a primary care clinic hopefully will be raising the bar in healthcare in Timor. As far as my work goes, I'm responsible for the clinical oversight of the clinic programs, including a tuberculosis program, laboratory for malaria, a malnutrition program, and general consultation.
My job in East Timor is to work with the pastors and lay leaders of the IPTL to help them strengthen and rebuild the congregations, especially in rural areas. Historically, there were a lot of Protestant churches that were started in the towns during the Indonesian occupation of Timor. And when the war ended, most of those people went back to their ancestral lands in the mountains. So the situation that the church is now faced with is one where they have empty churches in some places with no people, and then in other places groups of Protestants out in the mountains with no church buildings. So what they're now faced with is, how do we minister to the people in those remote areas? So I help them by facilitating a program of visitation and pastoral ministry, and some teaching of basic Christian principles, and it's a ministry of critical presence in the sense that the people that we're seeing often in the rural areas haven't had a visit by a pastor or lay leaders or other church members for many years. So in that way we're trying to be present with the people.
As a critical presence, perhaps one of the most significant things that Tom and I are doing is simply being a family in Los Palos, East Timor. We have 2 children, and rather than just being 2 adults trying to do things in a foreign country, we are trying to live amongst the people in our community just as a family.
We also want to take the time to thank you all, the supporters of Global Ministries in the United Church of Christ and in the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, for your continued support, both in terms of prayer and finance, because we feel it's a great privilege to be missionaries in East Timor, and we thank you very much for your support.